Okay, I'm going to show you how to recover a Word document from our image that we used last lab. It's right here. This is lab 2. And the first thing I'm going to do is find the beginning of it. We know by reading Gary Kessler's site that D0CF11E0A1 is a good signature for the beginning of a Word document. So if I click on find, I'll see 3 of them. Well, we're going to go with the first one. Now, there's something I did not tell you, but the sector size on our drive is 512 bytes. So what I can do with that is if I put in this address, I'm at 149.149E00. If I was to convert that to decimal, then divide it by 512, you'll see I get an even number. So what does that mean? That means the drive is broken up into 512 byte blocks. So all files have to begin, or every 512 bytes. That's it. I mean, so 149E00 is divisible by 512, so that is where the beginning of a file can be. Now, so this 512 bytes, what is that in hex? Now, if I take 512 in decimal, convert it to hex, that's 200. So every 200 hex bytes is where a file could begin. So 149E00 plus 200 could be the next file. So 14A000 could be the next one. So if I was to go here and go on down to 149A00, right here, that could be the next beginning of a file. If I happen to have a very small text file, it could have fit in this area right here. That's exactly 200 hex bytes in size. Okay. Obviously, that's not my complete file. So what I would then do is I would continue to search down my thing here until, we got some test data. So obviously that's part of my file. We can continue down. And if you know anything about a Word file by looking at them, we got themes, we got fonts, we got all kinds of stuff. And it should end with, and there's a Caleb Glaive, the guy who made it, and our template type. And we can continue going on down. We should get to something that tells us, there's more document summary about this stuff here. Okay. So the ending of my file has to be somewhere around here. Okay. Because that's what a Word file ends with. All right, now, if I scroll down a little more, let's get a bunch of zeros. Now, we got this other thing called PNG. That kind of looks like the beginning of another file. So if I was to take 14F, F600, okay, if I was to divide that by 200, because we know that's 512 in hex, see we get an even number. So this is definitely the beginning of another sector. So I'm assuming, since that looks like the beginning of a file, I could then select everything from the beginning all the way down to 14F600. Now if I select 14F600 minus what we started with, which was 149E00, tells me I have exactly 5,800 bytes. Okay. Now what I can do is go back to the beginning, put my cursor there, and then go Edit, Select Block, and I can actually put in that 5,800 and say OK. Then what it did is it actually selected that whole entire, oops, I went too far, back there, selected a whole entire block for me. Keep going down, keep going, keep going, keep going. And you'll need to select everything all the way up into the PNG. Now I'm going to copy this, create a new file. I'm going to paste it in here like I've done before. I'm going to save it. We'll just call it test1.doc. Okay, then I just save that. I will bring that up here and open this up, and we should get a Word file. Yes, we do. Should have the summary information of Caleb Glaive, which it does. It's a complete file. Okay, so what I just showed you was that we can actually figure out where files begin based on the sector size. They have to begin on the even number. They have to begin on every hex 200 for this drive because the sector size is 512. So basically a file is, every 512 is the smallest they could be. You can do 512 and 1024, so on and so forth from there. But you can check every 512 bytes and see if that's the beginning of another file. Thank you much.